Hey, today we're going to be exploring 5 poses to practice with a strap and really kind of seeing what benefits can be brought from using a yoga strap. So of course, ideally to practice along, you will need your yoga strap. So if you don't have a yoga strap, you could try using a scarf or perhaps a tie that's got a similar shape and ability to bring kind of tension into the material. If you do have a yoga strap, the things that we're going to be doing today require a loop to come into the strap. So to set the loop up, you want to check that your strap is kind of all straight and facing the right way. You're then putting the end through. So we're putting the end kind of through the middle here. We'll bring it through, and for majority of the postures, we'll kind of be wanting a medium-sized loop, but we can kind of explore changing that through the different poses. And then you importantly have this other little part. This is what will hold the strap in place. So you put this down, and then you again just find the end and thread it through. Now, personally, after I've threaded this strap once, I tend to never release the strap, just adjust it. So once you've done this and you know how to do it, you're set to go. The first posture we're going to explore is lying on the back. So it's a Supta Padangusthasana. You can come to lie down. We're going to have the strap close by with a nice loop again in the strap. And you can just be lying to begin with, feet flat on the floor. And then we're going to bend our right knee. So right knee comes a little into the chest. And with the help of the loop, you're putting the loop around the ball of the foot here. You want to keep a little bit of tension in the belt. So we're holding equal size of the belt. And the other thing you want to kind of notice with your shoulders want to be heavy in the mat, rather than lifting a little up. I'm also lifting my head here, so it feels a bit awkward. So you can kind of adjust the length of the strap so that your arms can be long, but shoulders heavy. Now we're pressing the ball of the right foot into the strap, and at the same time, we're keeping some tension on the strap. Now, the nice thing here of using the strap versus not and maybe holding the leg is that we can really bring some activation into the foot and at the same time then press the foot nicely away. Now, left leg could have the sole of the foot on the ground here, or you could have the left leg out in front, so see what feels better for you. And then you might just see how it feels to edge that right foot a little forward. And then if you like, you could just ease a little out again. And you might do this a few times to kind of just gently open the leg here. And if, by the way, it feels super intense with the hamstring, or the leg is shaking a lot when you're trying to straighten the leg, you can do the same thing with a little bend in the knee and still keep that pressure on the leg. And over time, if you're practicing this often, you might find there's more space for that leg to extend and lengthen outwards. Great. Now, the nice thing here with the strap is we can also open the leg out from side to side to get a little bit more into the hip. So you can adjust the hold of the belt. So both sides of the belt are going into the right hand, and the left hand can just rest on the left hip here. Now, you can play a little bit with first maybe drawing your right foot a little towards you. And then on the exhale, you're opening the leg out. Again, if you need, you could slightly bend the knee here. And then on the inhale, you could bring the leg back in. And exhaling, leg comes out again. We're keeping that tension in the belt here. So that means the leg can kind of more safely stretch. There's a bit more sort of focus on activating the leg than if we didn't have the belt here. So it's super nice then to be able to do this pose at the beginning of practice rather than having to wait until the body is fully warm. And the other nice thing with the belt is if you just wanted to bring the leg a little bit away, because that's kind of what feels possible, the belt's still there and you still got that tension. So it doesn't require you to have that flexibility to hold all the way up to the foot. And then you can slowly come back and we'll explore a little coming the other way. So this time left hand holds both sides of the belt. Right hand could reach out to the right. And you can edge the foot a little inwards to the left. And then exhale, release. Doing this a few times. And again, if you need, leg could be further away or knee could be a little bent. And again, the more times you do this, the more space you'll sort of start to feel is created. So if you're doing this several times a week, then hopefully over time you'll start to notice the leg starts to open, the hips start to open. And then after doing this a few times fluidly, you could kind of pause here. Again, leg might be a little way over. If you have got the space, you might want to make sure you're not so close to a wall so that you can extend that leg completely. And then coming back up on the inhale and exhale, you can release the belt a moment and just take a moment with both knees hugging into your chest. We'll change sides. So right foot can be flat on the floor. We use again the loop of the belt, this time coming around the left foot. Now left foot starts to extend out and away. And you could first start bending the knee and extending, or if the leg is quite comfortably straight, you could kind of see how it feels to bring the leg a little forward and bring the leg a little back. So doing this a couple of times, a little more fluidly. Again, still keeping some tension on the belt. And then we'll shift, so both sides of the belt is in the left hand, right hand is on the hip. If you liked, you could extend the right leg. Left leg reaches out to the left and then comes back into the center. Exhale and inhale, again keeping that tension there. Doing this a couple more times. And you can see actually my belt has slipped a bit down the foot. Ideally, you want to kind of keep it towards more the ball side of the foot so that you can really press the ball of the foot into the belt. Now we'll move to the other side. So this time you can hold both sides of the belt with the right hand. Left arm could reach out to the left and you're easing the leg over to the right and then inhaling to the middle. Exhale and inhale. Doing this a couple of times. And if the hip feels a bit tighter, knee could be bent, leg could be further away, that will ease it off versus bringing the leg closer towards your face. And then you could pause a couple of breaths. And if you wanted, you could come right over. Gaze might look over to the left. And then slowly from here, coming back up, releasing the belt and just taking a moment, hugging both of the knees into your chest. Well, we're going to rock now up to sitting. So you can cross the knees at the ankles, slowly rocking up. And we're going to be using the belt now to help us with more of a strength position of the Chaturanga, the low plank. Now, this is a really great help of the belt when you're wanting to work on your technique and build a bit of strength there. So the loop this time wants to be a bit smaller, so you can kind of just pull through and measure up so that the belt is about, with your elbows coming about the same width as your shoulder. So this here is a little bit wide for me. I'm just going to bring it in a little. And you want to be sure that your belt is tight here so that you know the belt is gonna hold you. I'm just going to bring it a tiny bit more in. Great. Nice. Now from here, we're going to come over onto our hands and knees. And the nice thing is, no matter how strong you feel, you can start with this and then kind of explore how it feels. So hands are coming onto the ground, fingers are spreading. We're actively, we've got the belt just above the elbows and we're actively drawing our forearms away to keep that tension in the belt. Now you could first try it on the hands and knees and you could kind of bend a little the elbows. So you're kind of leaning towards the belt and then exhaling, coming back. So we're just kind of using a little bit the tension of the belt. We're leaning forward into the belt, belly stays firm. And then exhale. So this time we're using the belt a little bit more for alignment. We're building that strength in the shoulders. And the next time you come forward, you could, if you like, just lift the feet up. So knees are on the ground, feet up. And you're just seeing how it feels to lean a little more forward to the hands. Oof, it's quite strong. And then you could slowly release, coming to your child's pose. We'll try this again from the plank. If the hands and knees felt fine and enough, you could try it again on the hands and knees. Otherwise, you could come up to your plank. And then you're slowly leaning a little forward. Now the belt is holding us a bit in place. So it's less strong than if we were doing without. So it might mean if Chaturanga is normally not accessible, this option might be. So you might try with the knees down. You might try with the knees up. And then coming back again. And what you'll find actually is as you're leaning forward, in the pose is a little lighter than coming in and out. So make sure that you still got that strength to come in and out. Great. And then again, we'll just gently relax in the child's pose. From here, we're going to release the belt and we're going to come up to standing. Now we're going to be using the belt to kind of support us in a standing balance. You can bring the loop of the belt down. We'll step on the belt here. Belt is nice and tight. So I've got the loop over the right foot, and then you're holding the belt with the right hand. Left leg is nice and strong here, nice and heavy. And then you're just seeing how it feels to bring that belt forward, maybe walk the hands a little up the belt to help higher the belt. And then you can slowly exhale, release. And you can try this a few times. So inhale, we're using the help of the belt here. And exhale, we're lowering. And we'll do this 3 more times. The last time we'll pause. So you can slowly come up. And then you're slowly coming down. So you might be kind of walking the hands up and down the belt here. Each time you might be lengthening the leg, lifting the leg a little more. And then the next time we come up, we're going to be adding a twist here. So you want to hold the belt with your left hand, right hand comes to the hip. We're gently rotating the chest to the right. Right hand could stay on the hip or right arm could reach back. So right arm reaching away from your right leg. And then slowly exhale, release. You can come back forward, gently release the belt and take the right foot out of the belt and shake through the legs. Great. We'll change sides. So now the left foot steps into the belt. And we shift the weight to the right leg. Now we're going to inhale, bring that left leg forward, maybe walk the hands up the belt, and then exhale to lower back down again. Inhale again, leg comes forward, knee could be bent, and exhale. And we'll do this 3 more times. So inhale. Still finding that balance. And exhale. And then the next time we come up, we're going to find that balance on the right leg. You might bring the belt a little closer. Hold the belt with your right hand. Left hand comes to the left hip. We turn to the left hair. Option, if you like, to reach that left arm back. And with the belt here, we're still pressing left foot into the belt. So we're still extending through the leg. And then exhale, slowly releasing. You can come all the way down and take a moment to shake the legs. Great. We'll come back to sitting now. And you could come to kneeling if it's comfortable. You could come either to a cross-legged position. And if you've got a long belt like me, you might now just fold your belt in half. So we're going to be holding the belt about shoulder distance apart. Hands go a little in, and we're going to inhale, reach the arms forward. So we're kind of gently opening through the shoulders. And then exhaling, arms come down again. Inhaling, reach up through the arms. Exhale as you lower. And we'll do this 3 more times. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. The last time, you can open your hands on the belt a little wider. So arms come back, and this time you might start to draw the arms a little back. So we're kind of more opening here through the chest. This is a really nice way to open through the chest and shoulders. And then exhale, you can slowly release the belt and take a moment to shrug your shoulders. Finally, we're going to come to a relaxation with the legs up the wall, but using the belt to really help the legs relax completely. So you want to double check the size of the belt wants to be roughly the width of your hips. So I'm just going to bring my loop a bit smaller. You can bring your feet into the loop here, then come to the side of the wall that you're using, rotate. So we bring our hips down, our head down. And then you can gradually walk your hips a little into the wall here. And the legs, you can just feel they're kind of relaxing out towards the belt. And you can just let the rest of the body be heavy here. And this time we're using the belt as a little bit more of a support sort of prop to help let the body relax a little more. So you can soften the eyes, relax your face. And we'll stay here for a minute or so. If you do feel that the belt is kind of tugging a little, then you might try just either loosening the belt or bringing it a little more down so it's resting on your clothes. Staying here 5 more breaths. And then from here, you can gently come out. So you might just bend the knees, release the belt, roll over onto one side, and come slowly up to sitting again. So thanks for joining me through this short practice where we were exploring different yoga postures with a belt. I do think it's a really fantastic prop to have. Even if you're not doing this type of practice where we use the belt for all the poses, but just having those options to adjust and use the belt in both as supportive, but you saw also sometimes we were using the belt actually to engage the muscles more and work a little harder. And if you'd like to see how you can integrate these short practices a little bit more into your home yoga routine, do check out my free guide. You can find the link for that down below. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye.